What is going on, everybody? Zyonik here, and in today's video we're going to be going through a Great League team building guide for Go Battle League. Now, these teams that I'm going to show you guys, there's going to be 5 teams showcased here today. They are all in videos on my channel. If you guys want to check out more battles with these teams, there's going to be links down in the description to these teams. But this first team right here, we have Altaria, Defense Form Deoxys, and Registeel. Now, the order in which I build my teams is very important. What I like to think about is I have my lead, I have a cover, and I have a safe switch. Or another way to think about it, like the images down below, is if you think about it in terms of rock, paper, scissors, if you have a paper which is going to be weak to scissors, you need to have a big rock and a little rock, which is basically what that is. So the big rock is the cover, the little rock is the safe switch. So in this case, on this team right here, Altaria is going to be very, very weak to tanks, so things like Registeel, Bastiodon, Azumarill. So Defense Form Deoxys can handle all of those, right? It can handle Registeel and Bastiodon very, very well. On top of that, it has access to Thunderbolt to help cover the Azumarill. And then Registeel on the safe switch is going to be really great for a couple reasons. First, it can get off hard-hitting charge moves that'll force shields from your opponent. And secondly, it'll draw out something that maybe Altaria could farm down. Now, as you guys are seeing in this video, we're set up pretty well right now. We have Defense Form Deoxys able to come in, and this is what I mean by having access to Thunderbolt is fantastic to protect you against the Azumarill that you are likely going to see. So right here, we can see that the Defense Form Deoxys is able to, handle this Azumarill very, very well. This team is pretty good. I ended up going, I believe overall, this was the team that I went 28-0 with when Go Battle League first came out, way back at the beginning of preseason. So if you're watching this and maybe a couple months down the line or whatever, this team I used when preseason first happened. So I was climbing through the ranks, basically from rank 2 to like rank 6 or 7 with this team, and I went undefeated. It was really, really strong. But yeah, this team is really, really good. Again, you want to have a lead, a cover, and a safe switch, and then you can see right here we're able to finish off the meta chan very nicely. So this is a great team. It's expensive, but it's really good. All right, so this next team right here, we bring into rank 10. This was from a video where I brought 15 unique Pokemon in 5 battles, so 3, obviously 3 Pokemon per battle, but 15 unique. And we have a Probopass, an Azumarill, and a Haunter. Now, Probopass is going to be very susceptible to fighters and to those ground-type Pokemon. So I have the Azumarill there as protection. It's going to resist the fighting-type moves, and then it has access to Ice Beam to help cover some of those grounds. And then I have Haunter on the safe switch. As Haunter, when it's ahead on energy, meaning you swap into it, it's very deadly versus the meta. And as you guys can see here, we're facing something really unique, which is an Electrode. Volt Switch had just come out basically, and this thing turned into a Wrecking Ball because it has access to Foul Play, which is going to hurt really badly. But Haunter is very, very glassy, so he's able to take down this Electrode relatively quickly. Now this team, I think is pretty good. You're gonna have some trouble against a common threat, maybe like Toxicroak. Potentially, but Toxicroak can be taken down relatively easy with charge moves, so as long as you're really ahead on energy right here. And as you guys can see, in this battle, we have a Probopass versus Venusaur. I can keep the Probopass for the Altaria, but I know he has Altaria in the back, which Azumarill can beat, which is why sometimes you don't want to switch out in terms of your coverage. I can take out the Venusaur here with my Probopass relatively easy and just kind of save my shields. Oh, I don't have any more shields left, but yeah, you guys will see we'll be able to get off to the Rock Slide right here and finish it off. This team was really strong when I participated in the Silpharina tournament in 2019. I ended up winning the tournament with utilizing this team most of the time. Now, the tournament was teams of 6. If you guys never participated in Silpharina tournaments, you bring a team of 6 and then strategize what you're going to use as your 3 Pokemon. And these 3 were very, very strong for me to get some wins there. So as you can see, really strong team right here. So this next team right here, Swampert, Altaria, and Hypno, is probably one of my favorite to use. I love bringing in Hypno on the safe switch with running the move Shadow Ball and Focus Blast because it can just hurt the meta so hard. And Swampert does really well against a lot of key Pokemon, like we're going to see right here, Registeel. So we're going to see a Meganium come in, and this is where that paper and big rock play in. Meganium is the scissors to Swampert, and then Altaria is the big rock. As you guys can see here, this is exactly why. It's going to be resisting moves. That's what the big rock does, is it basically resists moves and does huge amounts of damage to the opposing Pokemon. So Sky Attack right here is going to be doing super effective damage against Meganium because of our Dragon Flying typing. We're going to be resisting those grass moves, so easily take it down. That's what the big rock is for. And as we're going to see, we're going to have Registeel come in, which is where, you know, Altaria doesn't do a lot to Registeel. I mean, Dragon Breath does add up, but it's not going to be a lot, but we can get it to basically 50% HP. But the goal of the big rock is to cover your lead. That's what it's for. Now, if he led Meganium, that's where I would have gone into Hypno right there. But yeah, as you can see, we're bringing in the Swampert right here. We can go ahead and go for Hydro Cannons. Earthquake would one-shot, but Hydro Cannon's going to get him low enough or possibly get a shield, which is great. And now we can safely shield right here and basically farm down for some extra energy. This team is really good, especially when you win lead. Because you can just really get ahead on energy. Now, he does a great swap right there, which is things you have to look out for in your battles. Opponents are going to try to time their switches to absorb charge moves, which is a great play by him, but we can just go for Earthquake to do a ton of extra damage, and I can safely bring in the Hypno right here. Shadow Ball is going to be doing a ton of damage, and I want to save Swampert in the back for his Registeel. So I believe I shield right here. Yep, I do shield. It is a Hydro Pump, so great for us. And then this is why Hypno is just a great generalist, a great safe switch potentially, especially with Shadow Ball, Focus Blast. Shadow Ball and Focus Blast just do so much damage to the meta guys on the safe switch. Now, if you run Hypno as a lead, that's where I'd probably run it with Shadow Ball and Thunder Punch. Because you want to try to catch Azumarill, you want to try to catch Altaria, which is going to be neutral, you want to try to catch Skarmories, you want to try to catch Defense Form, Deoxys, so that's why Hypno's moveset changes based on how you use him, but he's great on this team as a safe switch. Now, this next team is showcased by a member of the community, Pokequillabrium. The video, again, is on the channel, link down in the description if you guys want to go check that out, but he brings Togekiss, Toxicroak, and Alolan Raichu. Togekiss is great at catching that Altaria. That's basically what it's for, some of those fighters. But it needs protection in the back. It needs that Toxicroak, it needs Alolan Raichu to help protect its weaknesses. Toxicroak is going to be that big rock. It's going to defeat things like that Registeel, which we saw in this game. I think it was Melmetal actually in this match. Yeah, it was Melmetal. But as you saw there, he had a bad lead, and he went into Alolan Raichu, and now he's able to come back in and farm down on Togekiss. Now, his opponent is up shields, but it's going to be okay because he can basically successfully shield right here, and then he's going to get quite lucky, I would say, with the fact that his opponent only has Melmetal and Defense Form Registeel, I should say. So this is where Toxicroak really comes in. Toxicroak, I think, is fantastic against the meta. Its coverages are really good. It can pick up a lot of those tanks like Bastiodon, Melmetal, and Registeel, and it can also pick up Azumarill because of Sludge Bomb. It's just going to be a great fighter, but he's going to be weak to those flyers, and he's going to be weak to confusion type or psychic type moves, but typically confusion, so something like a Hypno. So you got to protect him really well, and that's where kind of Togekiss comes in, which is why they are the paper and the big rock for this team right here. And as you're going to see, he's basically going to be able to clutch up right here. He's going to be able to farm down the Registeel just before he gets to another Flash Cannon. And then he can go for the Flamethrower to finish off, which is why Togekiss is a great charmer in the Great League. It has access to Flamethrower to beat the meta things that you guys are going to be facing. And this final team is one that I recently made a video on. You guys can check that out, link down in the description, but it's a budget team. It's Whiscash, Noctowl, and Alolan Raichu, all three of which 10,000 Stardust to unlock the second charge move, all of which don't need legacy moves, and all of which are very accessible in the community. You could easily trade for these, and it's kind of built to defeat that hardcore meta that you're going to see. So in this video, we're seeing a Whiscash lead, and we catch Registeel, which is what it's built to take down, and then we have Alolan Raichu for basically that Azumarill. Registeel helps with Altaria, and then we also have Noctowl, which is going to give great protection to Whiscash's biggest weakness, which is going to be that grass typing. So that's our lead, our big rock, and our little rock right there. And as you guys can see, we're facing off against the best of the best in terms of meta. We're going to be facing off here in this video against Registeel, Altaria, and Azumarill. And we're going to be able to pull out a win because not only is it important to be bringing great coverage to your team, it's important to play well and make correct decisions. And knowing that, okay, maybe Registeel right now has loaded energy in the back, so I have to save a shield for my Whiscash to be able to take him down. So basically I can't shield on anything else. So we're going to be seeing Registeel come in right here. And this is what Whiscash is basically built to defeat. Now I do make an error in judgment right here. Definitely shouldn't have gone for Psychic. Should have gone for Sky Attack, but that's okay. You guys can see more battles with this team on the link down in the description. But as you can see, Alolan Raichu, fantastic against Azumarill. I mean, Ice Beam's going to hurt. But we can get to basically 2 or 3 Thunder Punches right here before you can get to another one. And Volt Switch on top of that does fantastic damage. I think Alolan Raichu is really, really solid in the meta. I think it's undervalued by most of the community. And maybe you guys weren't aware how good Alolan Raichu is, but Alolan Raichu is very strong in the meta, guys. So, yeah, as you can see, it basically takes down Azumarill right there. Completely takes down. We didn't need to use a shield, and he's having to use his energy. And this is where Whiscash really comes in, and we save that energy because we know he has Registeel with loaded energy. And Whiscash is very low. As you guys can see, it's a fine line to dance when it comes to Pokemon Go PvP battles right here. But because we have so much energy and Whiscash is great at spamming charge moves, especially super effective charge moves versus this Registeel, we can safely take him down right here, even though we basically have no health. So yeah, I think this team of the budget teams, I think is my favorite that I've used, and it's pretty solid, and it can beat the meta teams as you guys are seeing right here. So I hope this video has helped you guys kind of understand how I go about building my teams. It's important to have that paper, the big rock and the little rock, or how I like to think about it, lead, cover, safe, switch. But yeah, overall, I think these teams are pretty solid. So if you guys want to bring these teams to your Great League Go Battle League battles, feel free to do so. I've really tested them a lot, and they're very, very strong. But let me know down in the comments what teams have you guys have been using. What paper, big rock, little rock has been working well for you. So like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.